Hey guys, tonight we dive into a swirling ribbon of water at the bottom of the world, a current so vast and relentless that it literally wraps around the entire planet. You trudge along its frigid edges in your mind, feeling the Antarctic chill nip at your imagination, and realize you probably wouldn't survive a single hour in those waters without an industrial-grade wetsuit or some serious luck. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Also, drop your location and local time in the comments. I love seeing where you're tuning in from. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. The Antarctic Circumpolar Current, or ACC as oceanographers casually call it, is the ultimate planetary engine. You feel it pulling along the Southern Ocean, a relentless band of water that moves eastward, unbroken by continents, a fact that is astonishing when you imagine Earth's chaotic geography. Historians still argue whether early explorers like James Cook truly understood its significance, but the currents they charted centuries ago already hinted at the profound role this cold river plays in Earth's thermostat. You glide mentally along the cold water, noticing how its surface seems deceptively calm from above, while beneath, currents twist, turn, and collide in a choreography that has been ongoing for millions of years. The ACC didn't appear overnight. It formed after Antarctica broke free from Gondwana, isolating itself and allowing cold polar waters to spiral around the continent uninterrupted. Interestingly, some researchers suggest quirky side effects. The current may even generate tiny whirlpools that act like conveyor belts for nutrients, supporting microscopic life that eventually feeds entire Antarctic food chains. Imagine that. You're in one of the harshest places on Earth, yet life has adapted to the rhythm of this water. As you drift along, it's impossible not to notice the contrast between its icy grip and the warmth that helps spread elsewhere, a paradox of cold driving global equilibrium. You probably won't survive the temperatures here, but you can marvel at how this invisible circulatory system quietly governs climates far beyond its immediate reach. Even the salty taste of the brine, if you could sip it, hints at the subtle chemistry exchanges that affect the carbon cycles crucial for life across the planet. This is not just a current, it is the pulse of Earth's climate, and tonight we ride along its endless loop. You drift eastward now, following the current as it circles Antarctica like a liquid belt, feeling the cold press against the imaginary hull of your mental ship. The Antarctic Circumpolar Current acts as a massive cold wall, trapping frigid waters near the pole while letting warmer currents slip around its edges toward lower latitudes. Historians still argue whether early climate records fully captured this thermal barrier's importance, but modern studies confirm it's a planetary gatekeeper, regulating temperature and influencing ecosystems thousands of miles away. You notice how it's not just a passive highway, it actively stirs the ocean, creating corridors of warmth that thread their way into subtropical waters, gently nudging global climates. It's almost poetic. Cold controlling heat, ice dictating warmth, like a stern teacher insisting on order. A quirky tidbit, the ACC generates massive internal waves under the surface, some taller than skyscrapers. You imagine yourself surfing one, which is both exhilarating and terrifying because, let's be honest, humans weren't built for 200-foot underwater waves. These hidden motions also mix nutrients, feeding phytoplankton blooms that support krill, fish, penguins, and seals. It's astonishing to think that this invisible dance beneath the waves has a cascading effect all the way to your breakfast table, influencing fish populations in oceans far from Antarctica. You probably won't survive the sheer force of it, but your mind can glide along and feel the rhythm. The winds above, the roaring westerlies, interact with the current, driving surface waters and reinforcing its relentless eastward push. Historians still argue whether the formation of these wind belts preceded the current or vice versa, but the result is an intertwined system that shapes global weather. You feel the tug of the current, the subtle shift in air and water temperature, the way storms are birthed from its kinetic energy. It's a slow, elegant power, unlike the sudden chaos of hurricanes in tropical zones. And while the Antarctic waters seem remote, every time a gust of westerly wind ruffles your local weather, you are witnessing the far-reaching hand of this circumpolar highway. You sink deeper into the rhythm of the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, tracing its invisible threads as it connects to the global ocean conveyor belt. This great conveyor moves water and heat from pole to pole, shaping climates in ways you rarely notice until the extremes arrive: scorching summers, bitter winters, or unusually wet seasons. Historians still argue whether early oceanographers truly grasped how interconnected the oceans are, but modern research confirms that a shift in the ACC can ripple through the Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific Oceans, subtly nudging your local weather patterns. You can almost feel the tug of currents on the other side of the globe, a reminder that nothing in nature moves in isolation. A quirky fact floats to the surface. Tiny Antarctic krill are ferried by this current across thousands of kilometers, connecting food chains across the Southern Ocean. Imagine that, microscopic creatures on an epic, swirling journey that determines survival for whales, seals, and seabirds. You probably won't survive the journey, but your imagination can follow them through icy eddies and nutrient-rich upwellings, witnessing life clinging to the pulse of water. The current's vertical mixing brings deep, nutrient-rich waters upward, feeding life that ultimately fuels fisheries continents away. This is nature's quiet engineering at its finest. You sense the subtle tension between deep-sea waters and surface flows. Warm and cold waters trade places, with thermohaline circulation acting like the planet's heat regulator. Historians still argue whether abrupt climate events in the past were triggered more by atmospheric shifts or oceanic circulation changes, but the ACC undeniably plays a starring role. Its swirling motion influences carbon sequestration, moving carbon-rich waters to the deep ocean and effectively pausing climate change in subtle increments. You feel a sense of awe at this balance. A current born in icy isolation can affect rainfall in tropical regions, snowstorms in Europe, and even drought patterns in Africa. It's a reminder that a single system spinning quietly at the bottom of the world can hold the fate of countless lives in its embrace. You rise now to the surface, feeling the invisible pull of the Antarctic Circumpolar Current as it tangles with the westerly winds, crafting storms that sweep across oceans with a disciplined fury. These storms, born from the current's ceaseless motion, help distribute heat and moisture around the globe, subtly sculpting weather patterns in ways most people never notice. Historians still argue whether early explorers fully comprehended the connection between these southern tempests and distant climates, but it's clear today that the ACC acts as a catalyst, energizing wind belts and influencing storms far from its icy cradle. You probably won't survive a direct encounter with these southern gales, but in your mind, you can drift along the rolling waves, feeling the rhythm of water and air working together in a vast planetary ballet. A quirky side note, the swirling interaction between the current and the winds can produce iceberg highways, invisible pathways that guide icebergs on epic journeys across the Southern Ocean. You imagine these floating mountains bobbing along, sometimes colliding, sometimes melting quietly into the sea, carrying with them tiny ecosystems of algae and microorganisms. These icy voyagers are like nature's messengers, hinting at past climates and providing microhabitats in a world otherwise inhospitable. It's fascinating to consider that what seems like an isolated, frozen corner of Earth is actually buzzing with hidden movement and life, all choreographed by the current's ceaseless flow. You also sense the subtle influence the ACC has on storms in temperate regions. Its interaction with oceanic heat and the jet streams can determine whether rains fall in your backyard or droughts persist for months. Historians still argue whether abrupt changes in the ACC have historically triggered major storm events, but climate models increasingly suggest a strong link. Even your daily weather, which seems mundane, is partially orchestrated by these far-off waters circling Antarctica. And as you imagine the power of this invisible current shaping clouds and winds, there's a gentle reminder. The Earth is a network of moving parts, all whispering to each other across distances that seem impossible. Yet every gust, drop, and swirl is connected through the dance of the Antarctic Circumpolar Current. Now you find yourself peering into the present-day challenges facing the Antarctic Circumpolar Current. a system so ancient it has quietly regulated climate for millions of years. Modern warming threatens to disturb this delicate equilibrium. You feel the tension as melting glaciers pour fresh water into the Southern Ocean, subtly altering the current's density-driven flow. Historians still argue whether past rapid warming events were caused by similar disruptions, but scientists agree that even small shifts in the ACC could cascade across global climates. You probably won't survive the consequences of a disrupted current, but your mind can trace the swirling waters and imagine the domino effect unfolding, from polarized to equator rains, from oceanic carbon storage to the heat in your local summer breeze. A quirky tidbit: some models suggest that if the current slows, the Southern Ocean might temporarily trap less carbon, allowing more CO2 to linger in the atmosphere. This could, in turn, subtly influence plant growth thousands of miles away, creating odd eco-echoes of Antarctic change. You marvel at how life, from krill to kelp forests, depends on the steady rhythm of this watery highway. Even the tiny phytoplankton, swaying gently in cold upwellings, become actors in a global drama choreographed by currents you'll never touch. It's a reminder that the world's smallest organisms can have outsized influence when paired with planetary-scale forces. Historians still argue whether human-induced climate change will eventually overwhelm the ACC or whether natural variability will buffer it for decades to come. Yet as you follow its endless path, you recognize the ACC's resilience, spinning tirelessly around Antarctica, a silent guardian of Earth's climate. You see how interlinked the system is with ocean currents everywhere, how fragile yet robust it can be, and how the faintest shifts can ripple into storms, droughts, or temperature swings far from the icy south. The current story is ongoing, a reminder that even the remotest parts of the planet hold sway over your daily life if you only pause to notice. As you settle into the soft cadence of the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, let the images of swirling waters and distant icebergs slowly fade into the back of your mind. Feel the gentle pulse of the current circling endlessly around Antarctica, carrying with it not only frigid water, but also nutrients, carbon, and the whispers of ancient climates. Imagine krill drifting lazily in upwellings, penguins gliding along icy edges, and winds rolling in from the Southern Ocean, all moving to the quiet rhythm of this planetary heartbeat. Each ripple, each swirl is a reminder that the world is profoundly interconnected, even in places we may never visit. You probably won't survive the Antarctic chill, and that's perfectly fine. Let the notion sit like a soft lullaby. The current is doing the hard work for you, regulating temperatures, stirring storms, and ensuring that distant lands experience the weather that makes your world livable. Historians still argue about the exact mechanisms of past climate shifts, but tonight, you don't need certainty, just awareness and wonder. The ACC has existed long before human calendars, spinning in silent, majestic loops, a cosmic metronome for Earth's climate. As your breathing slows, imagine the gentle contrast of cold Antarctic waters and the warmth it distributes worldwide. Let the memory of swirling ocean currents, ice-laden highways, and microscopic life drifting on epic journeys lull you further. The Earth hums quietly beneath your feet, and the ocean, in all its ceaseless motion, whispers a steady, reassuring story that life persists, climates balance, and even in the remotest corners, order flows from chaos. Now, as the waves of thought subside and your mind softens, rest in the calm knowledge that the ACC spins faithfully, tirelessly, endlessly. Let your imagination drift with it, slow and gentle, as the Earth exhales quietly and you follow in peaceful suspension.